Another glorious morning in paradise up here in the back of the Gold Coast in the Hinterland. And here's our regular pair of cockies, sulphur-crested cockies, aptly named Mr. Cocky on the left and Mrs. Cocky on the right as we're looking at them. This pair have been coming for, again, must be 5-6 years, basically no, close to 7 years since virtually when we moved in here. February will be 7 years. And we see them rather regularly, but there are times when we don't see them for a couple of weeks at a time. Mr. Cocky here, this one right here in front here, we actually can hand feed him. Watch, there's a hand going in there to feed him. That's Mrs. Cocky making the noise in the back. She is much more timid. She doesn't necessarily like to be hand fed. But they get a bit of a feed every so often when they come to visit. Beautiful bird. Yeah, and they bring the babies. Wifey's just reminding me. They actually came with the babies a few weeks ago before the rain started. They had 4 or 5 babies that they came with. And I promise I'll get a video of that next time they come with the babies. So that's Mrs. Cocky. She is very timid. Although she's a heck of a lot better now than what she used to be. We can actually get up really close to her now. In the beginning, no way, Jose. They love their corn. But they're actually having a bit of a feast on sunflower seed, which we obviously don't give them much of. It's just a treat. But they're probably still feeding the babies, although we haven't seen the babies for a couple of weeks. That's Mrs. Cocky. She's saying, I want some more seed. Mr. Cocky will probably grab that piece of corn in a second. No. This is just regular seed, regular what they call wild parrot seed mix. This is what we give our own birds. It's a lot less sunflower seed, it's a mixture. I'll just pan down here. These are our regular coleras, also known as corellas. They come every morning. There's about a dozen of them. These have been regulars on and off for the last 2-3 years. What they're actually eating is the leftover seed from our own birds, from Gilly, Tsippy and our galahs. Evelyn cleans out the cages every morning and just puts the seed out so nothing goes to waste. And these wild birds literally have a bit of a feast on the leftover seed from the night before, the day before. Meanwhile, back at the fence, normally he picks up his corn, but he actually must be pretty hungry this morning. It has been wet for the last 2-3 weeks, which probably means they've not been able to get a lot of their own seed and grasses that they normally would eat. We actually know where this pair comes from. There's a colony of sulphurs not far from where we live, and it gets pretty wet down there. It's by the river, not far from the river. And that's Gilly, you can hear in the background. They're waiting to go into their aviary. They'll be going into the aviary very, very soon. Okay.